Alright guys, and welcome back to more Dangan Ronpa 2. We are about to go straight back into the trial, and we just established that Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki. And now, here we go.
It appears that it is wiser to retreat for now.
Oh, that rebuttal showdown was easier.
Fine then. But regardless of good or evil, there's no deceit in upholding one's convictions.
Can't you just shut up and back off?
Right?
Now then, let us resume our debate.
Wait a sec. There's something I want to run by Monokuma first.
Huh? Again? Didn't something like this happen last time too?
Hey, if the victim actually committed suicide, what are we supposed to do?
Suicide.
The same as always. You have to vote for who the killer is.
Interesting.
Think about it. A suicide means you've killed the most important existence of all, yourself. Unfortunately, that means there's no Blacken to punish, but I guess in a pinch, I can always punish Monami.
Damn.
Nagito? What do you mean? If the victim actually committed suicide?
Well, I understand Hiyoko's death, but I'm wondering if Ibuki was really murdered. For example, it's possible Ibuki killed Hiyoko, and then committed suicide due to a guilty conscience, right?
That's totally impossible. Then she never would have killed her to begin with.
She was afflicted by the despair disease, remember? That means anything can happen.
Right.
But if Ibuki's the killer, she wouldn't have been able to falsify the sequence of the murders, right? After Hajime saw the hanged body, the sudden appearance of Hiyoko's body soon after means
Someone else?
the killer had to be alive at that time.
Exactly.
Then she was alive. When Hajime first discovered Ibuki, she was just pretending to be dead.
What?
If she waited until Hajime left, that's when she could have made her move and mess with the crime scene.
She hanged herself. Remember? There's no fucking way she could have faked that.
I know.
And if she was going to fake her death, I think she wouldn't have chosen hanging. Her body would have been defenseless in that state. If anyone touched her, that alone would have ruined her plan.
Right.
I see. So that means there's no doubt that someone killed those two. I'm glad. Now I'm free to search for the killer.
Oh boy.
What the heck?
There's still one more issue on my mind.
He was trying to clear the doubts.
If Ibuki didn't commit suicide, then just what was that video Hajime saw?
Telling you, that was from the hospital, according to the
that
video.
you saw, Ibuki was by herself when she climbed the stepladder, right? Then does that mean someone forced her to do it?
Forced? Perhaps they used hypnotism or something?
She was gullible.
I don't know anything about that.
Don't say it all proud.
Putting that aside, it seems obvious that the killer did something. So, maybe we should figure out who was able to do whatever that was.
So, an alibi.
Yup.
Then our plan is to destroy the weakest alibi. Since Hajime has seen the video, it is clear what time the crime took place. But just to be sure, that surveillance camera doesn't have a record function, right?
It's a cheap-ass surveillance camera, you know? There's no way it'd have some kind of sweet recording feature.
Then, the video Hajime saw was actually live?
What time did Hajime see that video?
I saw it at the hospital, right before Monokuma's morning announcement. And I saw the body at the music venue a little after Monokuma's announcement.
So Ibuki hanged herself right before Monokuma's announcement. And since we established that Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki,
They all could have been dead like the night before. Like maybe like a few hours before that a damn announcement even took place.
that means the time that the murders occurred was before and during the announcement.
Then, we just have to find the person who doesn't have an alibi during that time?
Now then, I shall issue my decree. Let Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi commence.
What? She's doing the same pose Junko does, right? Or the mastermind did in the first game, which is hilarious. I think, if I remember correctly. Mikan's account, surveillance, Sonia's account, Mikan's account. Alright. Let's look at everybody's.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
No, man.
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
You think?
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
Yup.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed.
Hold on, Sonny boy. The murder supposedly happened before and during the morning announcement. The person who doesn't have an alibi for that time would be, I guess you could say Fuyuhiko.
Exclude the sick people like me and Akane,
I guess it would be
right?
Fuyuhiko.
And what about the others?
Which we know he didn't do it.
Right before the morning...
We know he didn't do it, alright? So anyway, Mikan's account. Right up until the morning announcement, Mikan was with Hajime the whole time. Afterwards, she went to the hospital to check on everyone and realized that Ibuki had disappeared. When she rushed out of the hospital to search for Ibuki, she apparently met up with Fuyuhiko. After Fuyuhiko met Mikan in front of the hospital, they split up to search for Ibuki. They checked the movie theater. You know what? I'm not sure if that's gonna count though. They checked the movie theater in Electric Avenue. They didn't find anyone. Apparently, Fuyuhiko and Mikan were only separated for a short time. For a short time, huh? For a very short time. They checked the movie theater in Electric Avenue, but they didn't find anyone. Apparently, Fuyuhiko and Mikan were only separated for a short time. Sonia's account. Yoko was distraught.
announcement. I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's
Why?
not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation
Nobody has
Destroy
an
the Weakest
alibi.
Alibi has failed.
Murder supposedly happened before and during the morning announcements. Person who doesn't have an alibi for that time.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I
Okay.
think everyone at the motel was doing that.
Okay.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then
Alright, there we go.
No, that's wrong.
That's wrong, bitch! That's wrong! I have this account alibi!
Hold on. Not all of us are missing an alibi.
Let's go!
In fact, Mikan and I both have alibis.
You two have alibis?
Up until I saw that hanging video, Mikan and I were actually together for a while.
We even woke up together that morning.
Hey, what kind of situation is that?
I knew Kazuichi was gonna say something slick.
I accidentally fell asleep on top of Hajime.
Oh boy, look at Chiaki like, what?
Too much info.
Yeah, it's not like that. She just came to tell me Nagato's condition had improved.
And we went to the hospital together afterward. So we were together until right before the announcement.
I get it. You guys have alibis.
If that's the case, the killer must be someone else.
It's better if we think about it like that. The killer decided to falsify the murder sequence to hide the actual time of the crime anyway.
I can tell if you don't put two and two together soon, I'm gonna be extremely mad, homie.
So it's inevitable that an alibi for both before and during the morning announcement would be very important.
It feels like Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has backed us into a corner instead.
But committing an imitation murder, is that really all it was?
Huh?
Faking the time the crime occurred by falsifying the murder sequence, hiding their alibi in the process? Was that the only reason the killer made both bodies imitate the movie?
Are you saying there was another reason?
I feel really bad for confusing you guys so much, but that's how I feel. I think the killer had a completely different reason for falsifying the murder sequence.
I had said the same thing. The killer had a different reason? If that's the case, are we still in the killer's trap? The killer— I'm telling you, in the trap! You in the trap! I said this like several episodes ago. Someone falsified their alibi. They forced an alibi on you, homie. Who's it? What kind of trap is it? Look to the left! To the left, to the left! To the left, homie! Whoa, we got to this class trial suspension extra quick.
Hiya!
The moss balls are sure looking tasty today.
Stop it!
Don't characterize me as someone who lives off of moss balls. And here's some chance time. Chance time! What's that? Now then, Monami's appeal time starts now. Chance time! Oh no! You lose! Your kind-hearted big brother is going to give you the chance to reclaim your honor. Good luck. Show those jerks who treat you like a red-headed stepchild who's boss. That's 99% of your fault. While you're whining, your time's already running out, so please make your appeal simple. About 30,000 words or so. That's too long. It'll just be a boring appeal. If your appeal is successful, there might be merchandise opportunities heading your way. I'm Usami, magical miracle girl Usami. I'm an itty bitty girl who's sweet like milk. And I thought a certain robot's little sister was supposed to be the best.
What a disappointment!
Who are you talking about? I have no clue whatsoever. That was so fucking random, dude. Alright, so what we're gonna do here, guys, save the game and continue playing. Because I feel this part would have been too short. We're gonna play for about maybe 5 or 6 more minutes.
I'm Monami. Once again, I've been put in such an unreasonable situation. Seriously, he's like the king of unreasonableness. Why did it turn out like this? We were supposed to have a fun, friendly school trip, but it turned out all bloody instead.
I gotta say, that voice really fits the damn, the design of that character, the damn Monami doll, because she's supposed to be like a super cute rabbit, an innocent rabbit, and the way she speaks actually fits.
No! This definitely cannot be allowed. That's why I want you to remember this. Everyone, do your very best. Don't lose to yourself. And don't forget to save frequently.
Oh, she doesn't say regularly no more? Oh! I wanted her to say, don't forget to say regularly. The way she pronounces regularly is hilarious. The reason the killer did an imitation murder is a reason other than falsifying the murder sequence? Does something like that even exist?
Huh. It suddenly got quiet in here. Did I confuse you? If so, I wish I could die from self-loathing.
Man, this again.
If that's the case, it would have been just dandy if they had gone ahead and killed me too. If that happened, the imitation would have been perfect.
Well, it's against the rules to kill 3 people in the first place.
That rule is too harsh. I couldn't get killed because of that.
Really?
Seriously, just shut up already! Shut up forever!
But I'm thinking about it again, and he's totally right. It feels incomplete.
Because they didn't kill 3 people like the movie did? That's only because of Monokuma's rule.
It's not just that. Come on, try to remember the content of the movie.
How they died?
About about the lion that got killed second?
That's the one Hyoko's body was imitating, right?
Even though we're calling it an imitation, the lion was actually pinned by arrows, right? But Hyoko's body was suspended by common household duct tape.
Maybe they just used a common substitute because it was too difficult to imitate the arrows.
Well, that's probably it, but that attitude is what makes this feel incomplete. If falsifying the murder sequence was the killer's plan from the very beginning, they should have taken steps to properly imitate it.
But if we never realized it was a half-assed imitation, their entire plan would have been completely useless.
All this shit happened because it was an accident, I'm telling you.
What are you trying to say? Are you saying the imitation wasn't planned?
I'm saying, Hyoko's murder wasn't.
What?
I've been saying this the whole time.
I understand the imitation wasn't enough, but aren't you making a bunch of assumptions?
Ow, what the fuck? Cat, why are you clawing my foot from under the bed? Like, what the hell is your problem, man? Like, you happy now? I just pet you. Damn, leave me alone. The cat is actually clawing my feet. You're making a bunch of assumptions.
It's not just the poor imitation. There are also other strange details.
Strange details? Like what?
Like, for example, why did Hyoko go to the music venue?
To tie her kimono sash.
So, you're saying the truth behind Hyoko's murder is hidden?
I have no freaking clue what you're trying to
She
say.
saw what was going on and she got killed.
However, this is getting quite interesting. My 4 dark devas of destruction are getting riled up.
Then put your Yu-Gi-Oh deck away, homie. Put that deck away. Why Hyoko went to the music venue? Is that the key to all of this? I need to find out that no matter... She went to go tie her down. So we gotta present Sonya's account. Sonya's account, where is it at? Sonya's account, please. Sonya's account. Sonya's account. Oh, I guess we don't get Sonya's account, but we gotta present it somehow. Let's see what they say first.
Hyoko,
Let's see what they have to say.
go to the music venue? There's no way we'd know that.
Maybe the killer summoned her.
No.
If that's not it, maybe she got abducted by the killer.
No.
No, maybe. She went of her own free will.
Or she was guided by the will of causality.
Oh, shut up! The will of these nuts.
Why did Hyoko go to the music venue?
AC temperature, no. The Wizard of Monami, no. Blood on the Souls, no.
Maybe the killer summoned her.
No.
If that's not it, maybe she got abducted by the killer.
What in the world?
No, maybe. She went of her own free will.
I can't absorb that,
She
huh?
was guided by the will of causality.
I have to obviously absorb somebody's shit.
Go to the music venue? There's no way we'd know that.
Maybe the killer summoned her.
If that's not it, maybe she got abducted by the killer.
No.
No, maybe. She went of her own free will.
Okay, alright.
Agree with that.
Alright, I agree with that. I just have to agree with somebody. And the only person to agree with was Sonya.
She went to the music venue of her own free will.
Obviously.
So, exactly as I assumed.
Sonya's account. I was still right. They just didn't give me the bullet.
If no one called for her, then why did she go?
Hyoko locked herself in her room because she was being overly cautious of the despair disease, you know? I don't think a person like that would leave their room just because someone called for them.
Alright, cool.
There's no way she got abducted?
Hyoko locked the room she was staying in before she went out.
If she was forcibly taken from her room, there's no way she would have had time to lock it.
The killer could have locked her door, right? Just to hide the fact Hyoko got abducted.
But she had her key on her.
then they couldn't have hidden her room key that deep in her kimono. They would have put it somewhere more obvious. Otherwise, there's no point in messing with the crime scene if nobody finds the key. At the time, you were the one who actually took out the key, right? Then something like that.
I won't lose.
What the? She won't lose. We'll find out about that next time on Dangan Ronpa. So I'll see you guys later.